the movie Best in Show, how close to accurate could it possibly be with what you've experienced behind the scenes with the National Dog Show?
Well, I would say that it certainly is a wonderful parody, and there's nothing more flattering than being parodied. It means you've done something right. So that said, the people are they love their shows and they take it very seriously. And for many people, this is their world. But the side note of that is that's actually how the show began. John Miller, who was head of NBC Sports, took Best in Show home one weekend, and he watched it several times. And he came in Monday morning to the meeting there at NBC Sports and said, "I know what we're going to do with that 2-hour slot right after Thanksgiving, right after the Macy's parade and right before football. We're going to do a dog show." And they about laughed him out of the office. But by the end of the day, he licensed the Kennel Club of Philadelphia's show as the National Dog Show. Purina came on as the presenting sponsor, and Tuesday morning he calls me in L.A., and I answered the phone, and I said, "Hello," and he said, "Woof, woof."
What would you say you've seen?
And that was 18 years ago.
18 years ago, you probably. And what did you think? What did you think it was going to be from there? Because now it's 25 million viewers.
Oh, it's actually more than that with the additional viewings that they have. We're close to a little over 30, but it's I had no idea what I was doing, and I'll tell you let me give you an example. They bring the Old English Sheepdog up to the judge, who's this elegantly gowned woman, and she starts putting her hands all over the dog. And I said to David, "What's she doing?" And remember, an Old English Sheepdog is about 80 pounds of hair and 2 pounds of actual dog. So she's putting her hands all over the dog, and I said, "David, what's she doing?" He says, "John, she's putting her hands on the dog to make sure that the shoulders and the hips align with the written specification of what the perfect Old English Sheepdog should be." He said, "Because you can hide a really bad dog with a really good haircut." And I said, "You're telling me I went to junior prom." And then she walks around to the front of the dog and starts putting her hands all over the dog's head. I said, "David, what is she doing now?" He says, "John, she's trying to find the eyes to gauge the attentiveness of the dog." And I said, "Really?" I said, "Well, if she finds only one eye, she's got the wrong end of the dog." That was my first year of doing the show.
What is the strangest behavior you've seen from an overzealous competitor in the dog show, or someone who takes it even more seriously than the most serious?
Well, there was, I would say, maybe about the 5th year of the show. One of the dogs who was in the Best in Show grouping was the Great Dane. Now, as you know, that's one of the largest dogs on earth. And this was a particularly large member of the breed. But they had won their group, and they were in the 7 dogs chosen for Best in Show judging. So as they're skirting around the ring, he stops right in front of the NBC booth, in front of David and I. And he turns over and looks at me eye to eye and squats down and leaves what I would call a huge editorial comment on my performance right there in the middle of the ring. And remember, this is Great Dane size.
Unpleasant. John O'Hurley with us.
So they had to call. They called out the hazmat team there, and they brought out stuff that looked like they were cleaning up after an elephant.
The National Dog Show airs Thanksgiving Day from 12 to 2.